Welcome to Patient Zero. I'm your host, Branch Isole. Patient Zero shares a focus on personal, career, and spiritual relationship growth and sustainability. The term Patient Zero generally describes a point of origin for any experience, event, or entity. From the moment of our creation, as a spirit of origination, each of us becomes the patient zero of our lifetime journey. On Patient Zero, you'll hear tips and takeaways for healthier daily interactions to achieve greater success at home and work. You'll also learn about how prophecy can educate, entertain, and edify, with an awareness about prophetic events, people, and circumstances, to help you know and prepare for God's purpose-filled plans. Do you have a plan for your life? Really, a plan written down on paper? Well, let me ask you this. Do you make a grocery list? Do you have an errands list? Do you have a honey-do or around the house chores list? Maybe? Probably? Yes? How about your goals, dreams, and ambitions list? Written down. Why? How important is writing it down, that is, your goals, your dreams, and ambitions for your future? In 1973, the Yale graduating class was asked how many had planned their futures, written down on paper. 20 years later, when members of that same Yale class were followed up, the 3% who had written down their dreams and goals and aspirations on paper were worth more than the other 97% combined. This is the power of writing your future down on paper. Here's a simple truth. You have complete control over only two elements, your thoughts and your verbal and physical responses to those thoughts. You may have heard a podcast guest or so-called life coach guru share their rags to riches story. Or perhaps you've heard one of the many how I overcame adversity and now you can too stories. You see, there's only one problem with these stories. They are the teller's story, not yours. You see, it's you who must make your own story your success story. We can't just hear and then mentally visualize a desire for success to happen and voila, it happens. If that were so, none of us would ever have stress, struggle, or conflict in our lives. Why? Well, seldom do we visualize failure, particularly in pursuit of our dreams. So how does manifesting really work? How do those who go from thought to actualization make it work for them? Meaning, what do successful people, those at the top of their profession or careers, do that so many others miss or fail to accomplish on the path of future success? Well, those at the top of every success story have a focus and a plan. A plan written down on paper. Why? Because successful people think, write, do. They develop a plan. They have a roadmap. They write down specifics, goals, markers, anticipated achievements. They see with their mind's eye because they have a plan and a path. You see, goals, desires, and ambitions need to be written down. Not for a lifetime, but for today, for this week, this month, 6 months from now, 1 year from now. Why? Well, here's today's behind the veil key takeaway. Writing it down physically transfers it from future thought to actualization in the present. Writing it down makes it your story. Written goals and plans help make your dream real right now. That's the key. Now, I'm not saying write every detail down. Not everything needs to be written today, but start today. Have a plan. Make an outline for today, for tomorrow, for this week. Then build upon it this month, this quarter, this year. And don't become distracted. You see, without goals, nothing happens. People without goals can only react. And reacting is exactly that. It's reactionary. Those who have dreams and ambitions without a plan operate from crisis to crisis, and life can easily get in their way. It's only when you can visualize your outcome that it can happen. Why? Because what's in the mind's eye that sees the future reveals what that possible future actually looks like ahead of time, ahead of its occurring. If you can't see it with your mind's eye, it can never happen because you have no visual clues to look for or to follow on your path today and tomorrow. Remember in the movie The Matrix when Neo was still hooked into the Matrix mainframe and he saw the girl with the white rabbit tattoo? Well, just like Alice in the Looking Glass, Neo followed the white rabbit into a new reality, his new reality. A reality that took him back eventually to reunite with the source, so he could go on to save all he had come to care about. Here's a simple truth and today's second takeaway. If you don't know what your future looks like mentally, you'll miss the signs and markers along the way between today and your future. It's really that simple. Missing your markers can lead to your dreams, goals, and ambitions not happening. So here's another behind the veil takeaway. It's not about manifesting. It's about the signs and markers along the path today that continue to reveal your future goals, dreams, or desires unfolding in steps and in phases. You see, awareness of these signs and markers when they appear on your path allow you to tweak today's reality toward your tomorrow's goal, your new reality. Your white rabbit allows you to recognize events, people, and circumstances that point to, that promote, that help you to achieve your stated goals. Now, of course, there will be distractions, stumbling blocks, and obstacles along the way. And you can choose to engage them and spend time and energy with them. But why? As John Lennon described it, life happens when you're busy making other plans. So dream big. Have big goals. Prepare your future with visions of impactful manifestations, life-changing manifestations that are written down. These become your roadmap to your new reality. Then, every time you see your white rabbit on your path, you'll start to recognize, you'll begin to know, and you'll begin to have confidence in your future. Why? Because you're mentally aware of what you're looking for, what your future looks like to you, regardless of what anyone else thinks or says. Remember, you control your thoughts, and when you use your power of thought, you can direct or redirect your actions and responses. So don't just live life, manifest your life. Use your power of thought to drive your life's actions toward your dreams, goals, and ambitions. Thanks for joining me today. On Patient Zero, we share key takeaways for growth-filled living. If you know someone who could benefit from today's episode, please share it with them. If today's show has been interesting for you, please give us a rating and review. And to know more about my work, I invite you to visit my website, branchisole.com, my Substack page, branchisole.substack.com, and my YouTube channel, Branch Isole. Substack subscribers also receive a thought for today every morning, 2 spiritual Christianity prophecy alerts every week, and an open mic poem short story every Saturday, as well as access to archived Patient Zero episodes, informative series, and articles. At the website, you'll also find my books, ebooks, and gift merchandise. Join me each Wednesday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right here at branchisole.substack.com. Until then, keep growing and be in the world, not of the world.